Tonight, new details are emerging about the deadly shooting that took place just steps from the White House on November 26th, sending shockwaves through Washington and raising urgent questions about security, immigration vetting, and the expanding role of the National Guard in the nation's capital. Authorities say 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard, deployed in the city as part of the administration's ongoing security posture, were fired upon late Wednesday afternoon while stationed near a perimeter checkpoint. The area, normally crowded with tourists and government staff, was immediately put into lockdown as officers rushed to secure the scene. One of the guardsmen was critically injured and later died at a local hospital. The second, though seriously wounded, survived and has been receiving intensive medical care. Officials say he is now in stable condition, but the recovery process is expected to be long. Within minutes of the shooting, Secret Service officers and federal law enforcement swarmed the area, apprehending a suspect identified as an Afghan national. Investigators have confirmed that the suspect had prior association with a U.S.-backed military force overseas, an affiliation that has already become a point of intense political debate. Federal officials have not yet released a motive, and authorities emphasize that the investigation is still unfolding. With multiple agencies working jointly to piece together the chain of events, in the hours following the attack, the administration ordered an expanded security presence throughout the capital, deploying hundreds more National Guard members to the streets of Washington. Officials say this was done out of what they described as an abundance of caution, though critics argue the move signals an escalation of already controversial domestic military involvement. The shooting has reignited fierce national discussion about immigration screenings and vetting protocols, with some political leaders pointing to the suspect's history as evidence that the system requires immediate reform. Others caution against drawing conclusions before investigators finish their work, warning that politicizing an active investigation could do more harm than good. Civil liberties groups have also voiced concern that the incident could fuel broad, discriminatory narratives about immigrants and refugees. On the personal level, tributes have been pouring in for the fallen guardsman. His name has not been publicly released pending family notifications, but officials describe him as a dedicated service member who had previously completed 2 overseas deployments. Community leaders in West Virginia say the loss is deeply felt back home, where preparations for a memorial are already underway. Meanwhile, the surviving guardsman is receiving messages of support from across the country. His family shared a brief statement thanking the medical teams and asking for privacy as he begins what doctors describe as a slow but hopeful recovery. As investigators continue combing through evidence, including body camera footage, witness reports, and digital records tied to the suspect, authorities say more updates will be released in the coming days. For now, security remains tightened across federal buildings, and several nearby streets are expected to remain restricted as the investigation proceeds. This incident, unfolding in one of the most heavily protected areas of the nation, has left many Americans unsettled, reminding the public that even in highly secure zones, the unexpected can still occur. For officials, it marks yet another moment of reckoning about how best to balance safety, civil liberties, and the evolving risks faced in a politically charged climate. We will continue to follow this developing story closely as more details become available. This news is coming to you from America T News.